All right, we're now in Chapter 8. Chapter 8 is going to be all about different finances. So in Chapter 8, we're going to talk a little bit about sales tax, discount rates. We're going to talk about income taxes and going to calculate basic income taxes and how you would calculate how much somebody would owe in income taxes. We're going to talk about Social Security and FICA taxes and what those are and how to calculate those. We're going to talk a little bit about simple interest and compound interest accounts. When you go to a bank and you want to invest money or you want to borrow money and the different interests you're going to be charged or receive. And then we're also going to talk about different installment loans. So we're going to talk about mortgages, we're going to talk about car loans, we're going to talk a little bit about credit cards, and we're going to talk about how to calculate what our payment would be on some of those different installment loans. There are lots of different formulas in Chapter 8, so it gets a little bit confusing. So what I suggest, if you look at the Chapter 8 module, you've got your Chapter 8 notes, but under them is the Chapter 8 formula sheet. This formula sheet, I suggest that you print off. It's going to be 2 sides, and you use this from day one. You have this out with you as you're watching the videos, as you're taking the notes. You will be able to use this on your Chapter 8 test, but you have to be comfortable with where everything is at and what it's used for, or it's kind of useless. So make sure that you print off this Chapter 8 formula sheet from day one. Use it all the way throughout the chapter so you know how to use all of these different formulas for our test. You can use this formula sheet along with your 1 3x5 card, and then make sure that you have a calculator and you know how to input all the information in your calculator correctly. Okay, so these are the 3 things you'll be able to use for your Chapter 8 test. Just like all the other chapters, you've got the blank notes up here. You have the video lessons for each section, and then you've got my completed notes if you ever want to look at a completed version. I do need you to make sure that you're taking the notes with us as you're watching the videos. You're pausing the videos, replaying the videos if you need to make sure that you fully understand the concepts that we're covering in each section. As you are finished with the Chapter 8, just like before, you're going to submit your completed notes in Canvas underneath the Chapter 8 completed notes assignment so I can make sure that you're following along with us. You'll get points for those. And then when you are taking your Chapter 8 test, make sure that you're fully showing all of your work for each problem so that you can get full credit for correct answers. Make sure that I can see the formula that you're using, you plugging your information into the formula, and then you're going to use your calculator. But if I can see all of those previous steps, then I can at least know you're doing it correctly to give you full credit. Or if for some reason you make a mistake, I can see that you've done certain steps correctly and I can try to give you partial credit. So the more work you show, the better, so I can make sure that I can give you all the points possible. Okay? This chapter is a little bit challenging. There's lots going on, like I said, lots of different formulas, so please make sure that you take your time, that you go through it as many times as you need to, and then reach out for help if you need anything, okay?